Morning, afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. I want to believe you can hear me loud and clear. Please confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Drop a comment. Comment if you can hear me loud and clear. You're welcome to today's live stream. You're welcome to today's live stream. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Please confirm you can hear me loud and clear. How has been trading this week? Today is on Tuesday. No, today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. How has it been this week? I'm waiting for your response. I want to be sure you all can hear me before I start the analysis. I want to be sure you guys can hear me loud and clear. Please confirm you can hear me loud and clear. So I want to believe you guys can hear me. So let's just go straight to business. Okay. So we'll start by looking at the fundamentals. I don't think we have any major news today. Yeah, today is Wednesday. There are no major news. So there is a high probability for our technicals to play out. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Good morning, Clement. Trade hasn't been good. What's the challenge? Is it the market, or is it your strategy, or is it that you're not following your trading plan? What is the challenge, Clement? What is the challenge? Mr. Michael, can you see my screen now? All right, Mr. Michael, good morning. What's the challenge? I'd like to know what the challenge is, Clement. Is it that you're not following your plan, or is it the market condition that is not favorable at the moment? Is it your risk management? Let me know. It's very important that you identify what the problem is. Okay. So let's start today. There are no major news. So technical setup has a high probability of playing out. So let's start by, okay, we'll start by looking at the yen basket. So we'll start with the daily. Like I told you guys, my bias for the yen has been bearish. It's been bearish, but Monday, Tuesday, the yen was bullish. On Monday, it was also bullish on Tuesday, and so far today, I think the sellers are beginning to show some strength. The sellers are beginning to gain some kind of a candle that looks like a shooting star. After the close of yesterday candle, let's see the pattern we had on 4 hour. If we're able to identify a bearish reversal pattern on 4 hour time frame, that would be a sell opportunity. Okay, so you can see on 4 hour, We had a shooting star on 4 hour, which indicates changing trend from bullish to bearish, and I think that's the reason for the sell so far on yen basket. Let's see 1 hour time frame. Okay, so this is what we had on 1 hour. So you can see we had this fair value gap. It created this fair value gap yesterday, and there was a pullback. Fill the fair value gap. You can see the fair value gap got filled at this zone. Okay, the fair value gap got filled at this point, and from that point you can see after price fill the fair value gap, you can see how price reacted to that fair value gap. So it's been bearish so far, and it's created a fair value gap here also. I think price has already filled that fair value gap. It might just want to test this fair value gap before continuing with this bearish move. It might still want to test this zone, okay, before going bearish. So with what we have here, I think yen is set for sell. Yen is set for sell. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, if you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. Please, okay, so this is what we have on. This is a 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame. So you can see price tested this support level. That could also be the reason for the current rejection we are seeing in the market. Okay, that could be the reason for this rejection. So if we go down to daily and the weekly, I showed you where yen basket is likely going to. This fair value gap here. Okay, so that's my take on the yen basket. I am bearish on yen today. Okay. If you have any pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. So let's look at dollar index, DXY. Dollar index has been bearish since the market opened this week. Dollar index has been bearish, strongly bearish. Dollar has been weak since the market opened. So last week was bullish, and this week so far, the yen basket has been bearish, which is expected. Bearish move is expected because we had created a fair value gap on the daily time frame, as you can see. We had it created, and that could be the reason for this. You can see the fair value gap it's created on the daily time frame. You can see the fair value gap it's created on the daily time frame, and that could be the reason for the retracement. Now this gap has been filled. So after the close of today's candle, one would know which direction to follow on. Like I said, my bias still remain bullish on the dollar. Okay, so I was expecting price to come fill this fair value gap, and that gap has been filled. So the next thing I will look out for is a bullish reversal pattern forming on the daily 4 hour time frame. You can see that fair value gap has been filled completely. Okay, so I'd like to identify a bullish reversal pattern on 4 hour time frame. Okay, I'd like to see a bullish reversal pattern on 4 hour time frame. So you can see also here we had a support. Can you see? We had a support here. Price came tested the support. So what I'm seeing here is a buy setup. It's a buy setup. Now if you look on 4 hour, we still have this fair value gap that has not been filled. So before going bullish. Okay, so I'll patiently wait for today's candle to close before taking a trade on the dollar. Okay. Also tomorrow we have several major news that will be released from the United States. We have a lot of major news that will be released from the United States tomorrow. Let's confirm that. We have lots of major news. Let's see tomorrow, Thursday. So you can see there are a lot of major news that will be released from the United States. Okay, we have just two: flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. Okay, so So that's my take on the dollar. I am bullish on dollar for today's market. I am bullish on the dollar. But like I said, I'll patiently wait for today's candle to close. Okay. I'll wait for today's candle to close before making a decision on DXY. So let's go to currency pairs. I'd like to use my MT4 for that. Okay, so let's start with GBP USD. Thoughts on GBP USD, I'd like to know. What are your thoughts on GBP USD? Let's start with the weekly. So far this week, GBP USD has been bullish, and you can see on the weekly time frame also, we had this fair value gap, which could be the reason for the pullback we've seen on GU at the moment. This fair value gap could be the reason. So once that fair value gap gets filled, there's a high probability price would, crash from that. You can see on daily also, we have this fair value gap, which is in confluence with the weekly fair value gap. So I'll be looking to sell the dollar if a bearish reversal pattern forms. Once it's filled and a bearish reversal pattern forms, I would be going bearish on GBP USD. You can see yesterday we had an hanging man, a spinning top, a doji indicating change in trend from bullish to bearish. Okay, and a lot of retail traders that have executed sell, and their stop losses will be residing at this previous high. So what they did this morning was to sweep the liquidity residing at this previous high. As it is right now, the sellers are not set. Okay, the bearish momentum is still very weak. It's still very weak. So I need to wait for a 4-hour candle to give me a very good pattern, a bearish pattern for me to sell on GBP USD. And I think that will be tomorrow. That will be tomorrow after the close of today's candle. So that's my take on GBP USD. Okay, my bias for GBP USD this week is bearish. My bias is bearish. If you have any pair you want me to analyze, please let me know in the comment section. So that's my take on GBP USD. I am bearish, but it's not set yet. It's not set yet. Okay. Now let's move to Euro USD. Euro USD. Let's start with the weekly. It's been bullish so far. Okay, and I think we have a fair value gap on a daily. Let's confirm that. Do we have a fair value gap here? Okay, so liquidity that was residing at this previous high got swept. So the liquidity that was residing at this previous high, I shared this with you guys on Monday. I would love to see Euro USD sweep the liquidity residing at this previous high, which it did. That was yesterday. Liquidity got swept. Let's go down to lower time frame. There must be a fair value gap. Okay, let's see. So on 4-hour, we have a fair value gap. This would be a good area to consider selling Euro USD. Okay, so you can see that fair value gap has been filled. It has been filled, and we had an hanging man. This is an hanging man indicating change in trend from bullish to bearish, and it's been bearish so far since the market opened. It's been bearish, but I still feel this high will be used as liquidity. Okay, so I want to see this high swept before going bearish on Euro USD. But if today's candle closes bearish, then I'll be considering selling Euro USD tomorrow. If today's candle closes bearish, I will be going bearish on Euro USD tomorrow. All right, gold. We'll look at gold in a few minutes. Okay, let's look at gold. Let's start with the weekly time frame. Gold has been strongly bullish this week. Gold has been strongly bullish. It's done over how many pips? Over close to 1,000 pips. It's about 931 pips, close to 1,000 pips. For those who bought gold, you should have some good money on gold. You should have made some good money on gold if you bought gold. Okay, so let's go down to lower time frame, daily time frame. Let's see what's happening on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, if you go down to 4-hour, at this point, I think a fair value gap was created at this point. Let's see on 4-hour. So you can see on 4 hour, we have this fair value gap. So I feel after this gap gets filled, we might see a good opportunity to sell gold. We might see a good opportunity. You can see that gap got filled and it gave us yesterday, no, this was the first candle for today's market. This is an engulfing pattern. We had a spiraling top and an engulfing candle. And I think after the formation of this engulfing candle, a fair value gap was created, which I think price wants to fill before going bearish. So if I'm going to take any risk on gold today, to be a sell and not a buy. To be a sell and not a buy. So you can see the pattern we had here on gold. We had a shooting star. Can you see that? We had a shooting star on gold. I believe after the formation of the shooting star 1 hour time frame, if it was created, let's just confirm that on time frame, which could be the reason for the pullback we've seen in the market right now. Let's go down to 5 minutes. So we have this fair value gap on 5 minutes. We'll also go down to 1 minute. I believe there's a fair value gap. After the formation of this engulfing pattern, I believe there's a fair value gap. Let's just identify that. Okay, this is 1 minute. Okay, so this is where we had the fair value gap of 1 minute also. Okay, so so gold might retrace from that zone. You can see this zone. Gold might retrace from that zone. All I need to do is wait for a 1 hour candle to close bearish. Okay, if a 1 hour candle closes bearish below this zone, I would sell gold. That's my take on gold. It will not be reasonable to buy gold from the current market price as far as I'm concerned. This is where the bullish move started from. So if you didn't buy from this point, you had the first opportunity here. If you didn't buy from this point, you had another opportunity. This was a second opportunity. You can see that price pulled back to almost the entry price at this point. You can see it's almost pulled back to that zone, giving you a second opportunity to buy gold. So if you didn't buy on this first ride, you missed the second ride, then you shouldn't go in at this point. If you buy from this point, your risk will be very high. There's a high probability price will pull back from this zone. It has created a fair value gap here. So it's likely, at least, it's likely going to pull back to this fair value gap. So if I'm selling, this will be my first target for gold. Okay, this will be my first target. I think we'll still have a fair value gap here. You can see this fair value gap is created here. You can see this also. But this will be my first target for gold. This will be my first target for gold. Like I said, you have to wait for a 1 hour candle to close below this zone before you sell. As you can see, it is still bullish. That means you can't sell at the current market price. A bearish reversal pattern must print on the chart, okay, before you take a sell trade. So that's my take on gold. If you're yet to give the video a thumbs up, please do that right now. If you're yet to give the video a thumbs up, please give it a thumbs up. And if it's your first time participating on the live stream, please do subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. Okay, so we've looked at AUD, we've looked at Euro USD, JP USD, and gold. Okay, let's look at USD JPY. My bias for USD JPY is bullish. So bias remains bullish on GBP on USD JPY. Let me start with the daily time frame. Let me open a new chart. This is the analysis I've done. I don't want to delete it. Let me open a new chart for USD JPY. Okay. Okay, so let me start with the daily. So yesterday was bearish. Yesterday was bearish, okay? And after the close of yesterday candle, let's see the pattern we had on 4 hour. So you can see the pattern we had on 4 hour, and let's see 1 hour. So you can see the pattern we had on 1 hour after the close of yesterday. So we had bullish reversal patterns at this point. We had a spinning bottom. You can see it's indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. And I think what they did this morning, which is normal, was to come to the liquidity residing at this previous low. You would agree with me, a lot of retail traders would have executed buy after the formation of this spinning bottom. And where would they have their stop loss? Their stop loss would be residing at these lows. And what they did this morning was to sweep the liquidity residing at that low. And after sweeping the liquidity, what happened? Price went up. And I think after that bullish move, let's see, will be a fair value gap was created here. Let's see that on 15 minutes. So this is what we have on 15 minutes time frame. So we had, you can see this fair value gap on 15 minutes time frame. Okay, so you can see the fair value gap is created here. Price has pulled back to fill that fair value gap. You can see that fair value gap has been filled. So there's a high probability USD JPY will pull back from this zone. You could patiently wait for price to close above this resistance that has created. Can you see this resistance? You could wait for 1 hour candle to close above that resistance before you buy USD JPY. Okay, if 1 hour candle closes above this resistance, then you could look for buys on USD JPY. Okay. If you have any question, any other instrument you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. Okay, so NZD USD is still bullish. At the end of the day, the close of today's candle will determine which direction to follow on NZD USD. My bias still remains bearish for NZD USD, but my setup is not on the chart. I can't see my setup on the chart yet. Okay, so after today's candle, I would know if I see my pattern on the chart, I would sell NZD USD tomorrow. Same for Australian dollar USD. Australian dollar USD also is not set for sell. Okay, though my bias is bearish. You can see Monday, Tuesday, today so far it's been bullish. They are most likely going to sweep the liquidity. Let's see. They might sweep the liquidity residing at this previous high before going bearish. They might sweep the liquidity residing at that previous high before going bearish. Let's see 1 hour. Okay. Okay, so that's my take on Australian dollar USD. I'm still bearish on Australian dollar USD. Which other instrument do you want me to analyze? Let me know. For those of you who are yet to get my course, you still have the opportunity to get it today. By Friday, the price would go back up, as you can see. You can get it for just 3,000 Naira before Friday. On Friday, the price will go up to its normal price, which is 10,000 Naira, 10,000 Naira. So if you haven't gotten it, get it today. Now, this course is for those who are still struggling to make profits consistently in the market. You don't have an edge, okay? You don't have an edge. You are still struggling, or you are new to trading and you are interested in simple strategies, not complicated strategies like ICT concepts, Elliott wave. You're not interested. I personally don't recommend such strategy for new traders. That is why I created this course, specially designed for new traders. Okay, new traders, you will learn the basics of Forex trading, how to use resistance and support, how to use candlestick pattern. Okay, how to use candlestick pattern. If you can master candlestick pattern and resistance and support, and also how to use the zigzag indicator, which I teach in this course, which I shared in this course. With that, with those three tools, you should be consistently profitable. I have other techniques that I trade. If you ever look at all this ICT concept, I apply some of the models. But trust me, as a beginner, you have to start trading the markets with a simple system. And that's the reason I created this course to help new beginners, new traders start, you know, the right way. Start the right way. That's why I created this course. So get yours today while it's still available for 3,000 naira. Any question? Do you have any question? Let me know. Let me know. Do you have any question? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? Okay, Mr. Emmanuel. Euro, Australian dollar. Euro, Australian dollar. Okay, a few minutes. Euro, Australian dollar. Do I have it here? Okay, it's not here. New chart. If you're interested, just send me a message on WhatsApp so that I can forward the link to you. Euro, Australian dollar should be under minus. Okay. Okay, let's start with the weekly. I've not looked at the chart this week. Euro, Australian dollar. So far this week, let me go to daily. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today it's been bearish. So should have started selling Euro Australian dollar at the open of today's candle. That would have been the right time to sell because yesterday we had, this is a spinning top, right, on the daily time frame. And if we go down to 4 hour, I'm sure we'll be able to identify a bearish reversal pattern also on the 4 hour time frame. So you can see the pattern we had on 4 hour after the close of yesterday candle. So we had an engulfing pattern after liquidity resided at this previous high, just swept, gave us an engulfing pattern. And after the formation of this engulfing pattern, it's likely we had a fair value gap on 1 hour time frame. So you can see we had this fair value gap on 1 hour. You can see, so price filled that fair value gap. Can you see that? Price filled that fair value gap. You can see. And I think this morning it's also, yeah, you can see. So price pulled back, filled that fair value gap. You can see the pattern that it gave us here. This is a bearish reversal pattern. So this would have been a good entry. This would have been a good entry for Euro Australian dollar sell. Your stop loss would have been at this point, which is 35 pips. And by now, you should be out of this trade because you would have made close to 98 pips on this trade. 98 pips. So right now, though it is still bearish, I would not advise that you sell it. Okay, I would not advise that you sell it. If I want to take a risk on Euro Australian dollar, it will be a buy. It will be a buy. If I want to take any risk on Euro Australian dollar, it will be a buy. But long time is still bearish. It's still bearish. It's still bearish. I think it has come to sweep the liquidity residing. Yeah, it has swept the liquidity residing at this previous high. This is an external range liquidity. So it is likely going to go back and fill this fair value gap it's created here before continuing with its bearish move. So if I'm going to take any risk on EA now, it will be a buy. Okay, probably we'll just target, won't go for much because it's a pullback trade. Okay, maybe set my TP at this high. Okay, it's a pullback trade. You're trading against the trend, so your profit target shouldn't be that much. Okay, so let's see. Let me go back to 4 hour. Okay, if 4 hour closes maybe as a spinning bottom, I'll go to 1 hour. 1 hour also should give me a bullish reversal pattern. And 15 minutes also. Okay, I would like to see, if I want to buy, I would like to see price close above the high of this candle. If 1 hour candle closes above the high of this candle, then I will be willing to, risk buying euro dollar. But that will be trading against the trend. That will be trading against the trend. So my risk, I will ensure that my risk is less. I wouldn't take much risk on that trade because it's a pullback trade. So I think that will be all for today's session. Any question? Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Let me know. The next 3 minutes. If you have any question or any other pair you want me to analyze, let me know in the comment section. If you'd also like to become an affiliate, if you'd like to promote the course, send me a message on WhatsApp so that I can create an affiliate link for you. And for every sale, as an affiliate, you get 35% commission, 35% commission for every sale. Anyone who uses your link to purchase the book or the video course, you get a 35% commission. So if you're interested, you want to work with us, send me a message on WhatsApp. Any question, let me know, let me know. Mr. Clement, Mr. Michael. You have any question, let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, let me know, let me know. Let me know if you have any question. Do you have any question? Is there any other pair you want me to analyze? All right, no question, Clement. All right, thank you for your participation. Is there any other question? Any question, Mr. Emmanuel? Mr. Michael? Oh man, I don't recommend prop firm. The prop firms that are out there, that are out there, just they are not interested in your success. They are not interested in your success. The only prop firm I would recommend would be uh, FTMO, and I think I don't know about their fundedness terms and conditions, but the only prop firm, and that's because they've been around for years. Okay, and that's the only reason I would recommend them. You don't want to buy challenges, and at the end of the day, after you've passed, they come up with stories. Okay, so it's only FTMO that I can really vouch for. Okay, they've been here for years and they've been paying their clients. So FTM is expensive. FCM is expensive. You have all these new pro firms that offer you cheap offers, cheap challenges. But at the end of the day, when you pass the challenges and when it's time to pay you, they come up with stories. So I do not recommend prop firms. My experience with prop firm has been it's been horrible, very bad, very bad. I've tried several prop firms. After you've passed, they will come up with stories. Most of them just over shots. They just shut down. Most of them just shut down. So have funds. Just if you have little funds, even though it's $100, $200, I prefer you trade with a broker, fund a brokerage account, and trade that small capital you have. Okay, and maybe when you make profit, you've made much profit, then you can now go for prop firms. All their trading rules, their terms and conditions is just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. It does not favor the trader. It doesn't favor the trader. So that's my take on prop firms. So that will be all for this session. I appreciate you all for your participation and I wish you all a profitable trading day. Ensure you apply proper risk on money management on all trades that you execute in the market. Don't over leverage. Please don't over leverage. Manage your capital well. Don't over leverage. All right. Bye for now.